Okay, we'll call the meeting to order at 8:59, a minute early. This is a continuation of our July 18th meeting. Just wrapping up 4 items on our agenda. Well, let's do roll call here. We've got Alan, John, Patrick, Daniel. So that's a quorum. Dan may show up later, but we're hoping we're finished before he's ready.
Joe Jean's excused.
Sorry?
Joe Jean is excused.
Joe Jean is excused.
Yeah.
And Dan, yeah, okay, that's everybody. All right, well, let's jump into
Joel is here.
hey Joel.
Hey, good morning.
Nice haircut.
Yeah, thanks. My wife cuts my hair.
All right, let's since John is here, let's jump into item 101 Polo Park Drive. This is a resubmission. We looked at this earlier and had problems with the driveway slope and had some questions about the tree removals. It looks like we did lower the driveway slope to, which is still a pretty steep driveway, but I guess you made the effort to bring it down to what we asked for. It's at 25 now. You there, John?
Yeah.
So you're pretty confident that we're going to stick at the 25 and not sneak it up a little bit to 26 or anything like that when Joel goes out there with his magic measuring stick?
Well, I think Todd was super conservative in the height difference. I don't think it's as extreme as he drew it. I think what he did is just kept the picture and lowered the numbers. But I think he's taking a pretty low absolute level for the driveway at the road.
Okay, so you're saying it may be even lower than 25?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Joel has ways of finding out. Well, that's good, and appreciate you coming down those numbers for us. And then we asked for some tree removal plans with an arborist. What do we have for that? Did you include something?
So unfortunately, my arborist has not gotten back to me yet. And I've sent some reminders, queries to him. So we're kind of hanging up. So we don't have his report yet. What he told me in the field, maybe Joel, if you got the canopy plan, that might be the best thing to look at.
Let's see what it's. I think it's on one of these pages here. If it's not,
it should be like 15 or something.
Last page.
Well, yeah. Okay, so there are 3 on the right that were all ribboned in the front there in the canopy plan. The 23-inch, the 33-inch, and the 34-inch. And we were going back and forth, so I don't remember the final decision there on all 3 trees, but at least 2 of them he agreed should come out. And then maybe the condition of 1 or 2 was questionable. The 20-inch on the left front was also, I think the health of that was, well, I just don't remember. We'll have to wait for I think he's got enough distance there to the corner of the house to keep it. There are others coming out in its vicinity And so it may be compromised.
Well, I mean, that's the kind of thing we wanted clarity on today.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what we could say at this point, because we did have questions about that, and it seems like the questions are still there. At this point, I mean, just from what we're looking at, from what you're saying right now, we're talking about what, 12 trees coming out?
I guess I haven't counted.
A lot of them are coming out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, we'd like to have a number on that. I mean, because
Yes.
we would like to go look, see which trees specifically. We want to make sure that what we see on the plan is consistent with what's actually on the lot. Because that could get a little mushy and suddenly a couple extra trees are taken down and nobody even notices. So
Right.
that's really what we wanted to see when we're talking about a tree removal plan, because we need something to reference. And I'm not sure what we're looking at here is answering the questions we had from 2 weeks ago. Anybody have any comments about that?
Well, I agree. We asked for an arborist report, and John admitted that the arborist hasn't provided one, so I don't see how we can, move this forward without it.
Yeah, we do want to look at the map and look at the trees that are tagged. That's a big part of what we do. So without those tools, it's hard to have a ruling on this.
Yeah.
I agree.
So beyond that, you want to talk a little bit about what Joel, I think, indicated that there may need to be some retaining walls here because of the change of the driveway. Is that your sense still, Joel?
Yeah, so, and I think they're in agreement. So because, right, the garage had to be lowered to accommodate the 25, to get the driveway within the policy. As a consequence, the whole house got lowered into the ground essentially. And so you end up with steeper slopes along the sides and the rear of the house. And there ends up being a need for retaining walls in these areas. So for example, and I think that the house, the most current revision shows the elevations at 114 along the rear. And then if we have elevations here at 128 and 130, and these extend to the property line here, then you have 130, 100 or 128. And if the wall here, the elevation is 114, and I think it showed that on the submittal. Where is it here? Sorry, computer's running a little slow today. There we go. So here's the side of the house. The front is on the left, the rear is at the back. The elevation, finished elevation is going to be 114. And this this rear corner. Or where are we? And then the elevations, all the way through. Imagine all the elevations and the grades can be changed on the lot, but along the property edge here, right, we can't go beyond that. So these are going to be existing at 128 and 130. So we're talking about, is that a 14-foot difference between this wall and here at the property line. Or here to here, 114 to 130, so a 16-foot difference. So that necessitates the need for these retaining walls along the sides and the rear.
So there's a retaining wall all along 3 sides of the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the retaining walls, especially on the left, are in the setback.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Is that considered okay, or is that building in the setback?
Well, the retaining walls are generally considered to be part of landscaping. And there's no, and then they can be allowed to be in the setback. For that reason, it's not considered part of the structure of the house, where we measure the setbacks to the eaves and the decks.
Is it at least a variance request, or is it just considered part and parcel with what we're doing?
No, yeah, it's just considered part of what we're doing. I don't think there's a need for a variance request for a retaining wall in the setbacks, because it's not part of the structure of the home.
Okay.
And to be clear, if a retaining wall were in the right of way, I believe we declined that request on a previous submission, a recent one.
Yes,
That retaining wall in a right of way would not be allowed.
that's correct.
It doesn't apply to this particular property, but just to be clear.
That's correct.
Is that Mike's call, Joel, or is that just?
Generally, yeah. I mean, he may make some exception to it. But I think generally the position moving forward is not to accept retaining walls in the right of way.
I
Okay.
believe the attorney has recommended that.
Okay,
Who's recommended that, Diane?
the attorney.
Thank you.
So it looks like on this, we don't have the arborist report to be able to go forward. And we would need to have a drawing that shows the retaining wall on the right side of the property, the part that Joel was just drawn in there.
That's what we have here, right,
Yeah,
Joel?
here's the wall. It's shown. Yeah, we received this wall a little late in the submission, so I'm showing it to you now.
Yeah, so I think to Patrick's point, it looks like everything's fine except for the tree thing, which we need to verify. So we're going to be looking for that arborist report so we can go out to the lot and actually make sure that both of them match. So I'm not sure that we can approve this as submitted without that arborist report that we did request. Is that your sense, committee?
Yes.
Agreed.
Okay. So I would make a motion on our item 1, I believe it is, to deny as submitted until we get an arborist report. And it's clear enough to you, John, what we need for that arborist report?
Yeah, I'll get it to you as soon as I get it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Is there any possibility of a in-between meeting?
Another in-between meeting.
Well, I mean,
I think the thing is we all need to go out and look at the tree after we look at the trees after we
Get the
see
report.
the report. Yeah. So I'd say no at this point.
okay.
So the motion is on the table. Can I all approve, all in favor?
Right.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, unanimous, Diane?
Got it.
And
Thank you.
number 2 was connected to this, right? Oh, the variance for the footprint, is that what it was?
Sounds right.
Yeah, I guess we can go ahead and vote on this. That's not going to change. So can I get a motion on this one?
Yeah, for item 2, the variance request on 101 Polo Park Drive, I move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, that one's good. Thank you, John.
Okay.
All right, item 3.
Which property is this, please?
This is
136 Polo Park Drive.
Thank you, Patrick.
You're welcome.
So we've got two for this property. The first one is exterior alteration. This is the deck. Looks like they're just extending the deck a bit and changing the design of it. So they're going to do the wooden wire for the railing, which will match the fence that we'll be talking about in a moment. I have no issues with this. Anybody have any comments?
No, looks okay.
So I move to approve item number 3. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Okay. Item 4. This is the fence request. Dan is not here, but he did voice his he would I'm assuming he would not vote against it, but he wanted to voice his disapproval of fences in general, which I think Joe Jean can join in that. But he had no major objections to this specific one. And it looks like it's what we request. It's wooden wire, and we will require that it be either the black or green vinyl also. I'm not sure if that's explicit on here or not, but we do need that to be the black or the green vinyl. And it is the 5 foot, which is the limit of what we allow. And one of the other things Dan mentioned when he wrote to me is that he wanted to ensure that this was clearly a fence and not a privacy screen. So I think by definition with the wooden wire, it is just a fence. Any other comments about this?
No, I agree in your interpretation.
Yeah, it looks like it's for a pet enclosure more so than privacy.
Yes,
And small children.
and small children.
Well,
Yeah.
pets,
Different kind of thing.
So can I get a motion for this one, please? For item 4?
Motion to approve item 4 as submitted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, unanimous.
You all want a comment in there about the black or green, though, right?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, that's everything, right?
Yep.
Meeting adjourned at 9:17.